to introduce myself. Yes, all right, good. We're good. I'm Barb Kaplan, and I am Barb's Paper Pizzazz on Facebook, and I'm also barbspaperpizzazz.com on my blog. So after today, and you see me put this card thing together, you can go to barbspaperpizzazz.com, and there is the tutorial on how to put this thing together. It gives you all the measurements, all the detail that you need to cut paper, and along the way I will kind of let you know what we're doing. Okay, so I guess I'm starting. I feel like I'm out in no man's land in the ocean with a boat and an oar and not going anywhere. So anyway, this is the card right here. If you can see this, this is the card that you're making, that I'm going to make for you. And I'm having a hard time trying to negotiate where I'm holding this. It's a note card on the front, but as you open it up, it's a thank you so very much card. And it's a pretty simple thing to put together. And as all the people that are watching this, most likely, can attest to, they put this card together 2 days ago. So they did a great job at it, and I'm sure whoever is watching, if anybody is watching, you'll be able to actually do this, hopefully with some direction, okay? So I'm going to start. Here we go. All righty. This card is an A7 size. And so what you're going to do is build this thing from the ground up. So here is what you're looking at. And the first thing that we start off with is a piece of basic black cardstock. I use all Stampin' Up products. So this is basic black. And I've already scored this. So if you have a scoring tool or a scoreboard, you need to score it at 4 1/4. The cardstock itself measures 5.5 by 8.5 across. So if you cut an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper into 2 pieces, you will have enough cardstock there to make 2 cards, okay? So we scored it at 4 1/4, and I'm going to fold it. The fold is opposite of the dip. You know, the dip that you made when you scored it, you fold it in the opposite direction. Your tendency is to fold into the dip. You don't want to do that. And to make it even a better crease, if you have a bone folder, which I do, given to me by a great friend by the name of Debbie Amrine, you make that crease really nice. So there you go. We've got the first element of this card. Ha ha, that's why we talk about elements. The next piece that you're going to use is a piece of cardstock. This is powder pink, and it is from Stampin' Up. The measurements are 4 across the top with a length of 5 1/4. So we're going to take that and we're going to add that with some snail. Never know why they call this snail, but we do love the glue. This is by Tombow. This is glue runner or glue tape, and it works beautifully to hold it all together. So we're going to add this to the card base, trying to make it even all the way around so that it looks nice. So there you go. And that part is done. How's that? We're easy. Now, on top of that is another black piece. And the black piece isn't here. Hang on a minute. I've got to run. Make like Frenchie. Hold on just a minute. I'll be back. Oh my God. Okay. Here's my black piece. And this is a measure. Oh, it's too small. No, that's too small too. Too big. Hang on a minute. I've got to cut this. So, boy, is this flying by the seat of your pants or what? So if this one was 4 by 5 1/4, this one's got to be a little bit smaller. So I'm going to cut it at 3 3/4 by 5. So 3 3/4, 5 5. Okay, so now we're all set, and that's going to fit right on top of that powder pink piece. And the black and the pink make a great combination, I think. So if you like black and pink, this is your kind of card. And we're again going to use the Tombow glue runner, and we're going to add this. Again, trying to keep it all even. Now, I'm already screwed this up, so I'm not going to add it yet because we have ribbon to go on here, so I can't add it without putting the ribbon on. So let's try doing something else. Oh, I should show you the stamp set. The stamp set that we're, oh my gosh, the stamp set that we're using is by Butterfly Gala. I'm hoping you can see this. Probably this way better, huh? And we're going to use this little stamp here, a little note, and we're using the thank you so very much stamp. And we're using, I think we're using these butterflies right here in the inside of the card. So anyways, because I've already glued this, I don't want to stick it on anything that it's going to be permanently on. So we're going to build this up with the papers that are cut from the Botanical Butterfly Designer Series paper that's given by, that's available from Stampin' Up. It is currently in the catalog, and the colors of the butterflies and the paper in there is amazing. And these papers, if you're not aware, are double-sided. So you're going to have lots of beautiful butterflies in all kinds of different colors and in all different variations of settings. So a lot of them have a lot of garden scenes and a lot of branches. This is not so. We just chose this one as a as the DSP that we're going to use today. And what you need to do and remember when you're cutting this DSP is that you have to cut them in segments that match. So now that I've messed up the whole paper, gosh, is this wonderful or what? There you go. There's 2 segments that match, okay? And the third segment, that makes 3, that are that measure 1 3/8 by 1 1/8, I believe. And we're going to glue these. Oops, we're going to glue these on the black. Let me move this. Good night. Okay, there. So this one's going to go first. No, actually, this one is going to go there. This one is going to go second. So we do the ends first. That way you can get some even Steven edges around the DSP. And then, no, that goes there. And this one goes here. No, that one doesn't go there. That one goes there. All right, so there you go. So we've got 3 that match. And we want about 1/8 of an inch spacing in between each one. So when you're cutting this, make sure that the segments are equal and that they're all perfectly sized so that when you're putting it all together, they don't look like a mishmash of pieces of butterfly hanging all around, okay? So we're going to take the stuff and we're going to glue it all together. I'm not sure if you can see this, so I'm going to push it up where I think it should be, and we're going to give it a shot. Okay, so I hope the lighting is okay. I'm not quite sure it's bright enough, but you'll forgive me. This is my first. So it's always scary. And, you know, once you get going, I think it gets better. But by trying to get this camera business, I'm not a real techie kind of gal. Let me put that in last. Okay. So let's... Okay. And then this one should match. There you go. I think we're good to go. Now, there's a piece of paper here that is also from that same Designer Series paper collection, the Botanical Butterfly DSP. And it's on the other side of this beautiful, colorful butterfly sheet of 12 by 12. So there's lots of different patterns that you can use, lots of different colors and paper that's available in this packet, and it's in with Celebration right now, that you can get this particular paper for free if you have a $50 or better sale. So for every $50 you spend with Stampin' Up, you get something from their Celebration catalog for free. This happens to be one item. So we're going to take this piece of gingham paper and we're going to add that to the bottom. So I'm going to glue that again with this snail. And we're going to leave a little bit of an edge all the way around. I think the edge kind of finishes the paper off, makes it look nice, and gives you a focal point, and it changes up the view, so to speak. And so now that we've got those pieces of paper together, we're going to try to peel this off of here. Now that I've got it glued in here. Oh, fun. I tell you, the glue works. Okay, so we're going to add a length of ribbon, and I'm kind of a stingy kind of gal when it comes to ribbon. Some people wrap it all the way around, and I don't like to do that. No one sees it from the inside. No one sees that piece that you're wrapping. So why use it? So I'm going to cut just a length of ribbon, and we're going to cover up the seam right here between the butterflies and the gingham check. So we're going to go over that, and we're going to just tack it down with some snail, like so. Okay, now you're going to see 1 feet of me trying to put together a bow. Okay, so now that this is together, we can glue it now to the back of the cardstock. Oh, this is already on. God, what am I, nuts? I'm nuts. We're going to glue it onto the back of the pink cardstock. So it should look like that, okay? I think I'm okay. I'm still all discombobulated, so forgive me. It's been a interesting half an hour. But we're working through it. We're working through it. And as I get going here, I feel a little bit more comfortable, so it's all good. I know if you were doing Facebook Live, you'd probably feel the same way. Okay. So here we go. Here's the front part of the card. It's kind of coming together really nice. So there you go. There's the front. Pretty simple. All it is cutting and pasting primarily. And when I do classes, I teach people how to do a bow in your fingers. I'm not really one to be very successful at bow making, but I found this technique on Pinterest, and I practiced it enough where I could be pretty successful at it. And you can make double and triple and quadruple looped bows doing the same thing. So I'm going to give you a demonstration on how to do this bow, but this is a single. And so everybody that needs to learn how, just keep watching. And so I'm right-handed, so I'm going to place this in my left hand, and we're going to just wrap it, and we're going to do a figure 8 around my first 2 fingers. So there's an index finger, and here it comes around to the other finger, and I'm done. Those are the 2 loops that we just made for the bow, and I'm going to give myself a length now to finish the bow off. We'll make it a little longer tail. So now that I've got a loop up here, we're going to come back through. The loop is at the bottom. Now I'm going to take this one, push it through my fingers. And that piece that I just made when I crossed over is what we're going to tuck this ribbon under. So when you do that, you pull it tight, and you should have a fairly pretty, even bow. Okay? And it turns out just fine for me. I'm probably not as good as Julie, Gilson, when she makes her bows, they are like, they sing hallelujah. They're beautiful. But me, I'm just plain Gail, trying to do my best. And so there we go. There's your pretty bow. And we're going to stick this bow now on the front of the card. You might want to play with it a little bit because it looks a little cockeyed. And I'm going to glue it on with glue dots. I don't like to tie it. It makes the card too bulky, and then you have problems mailing it. So the knot is going to be bad enough. So I put one on the knot. I put one on each loop. So you've got 3 glue dots holding this bow back down. And we're just going to put it right there. Okay? So there it is. These loops, if you don't like them, you can pull them in opposite directions. They're kind of intertwined. So if you're not happy with the size, just re-pull them through and they'll be fine. And there you go. Looks pretty good so far. Okay, so now I have a piece of scrap paper here. This is Whisper White cardstock, and it's just a piece of scrap. And we're going to start stamping, and we're going to stamp this little phrase called a little note from the Butterfly Gala stamp set. So I'm inking it up, and we're going to stamp it. And thank goodness for punches. They forgive all the crooked stamps that you ever did. So you can line it up in here and make it straight even if it's a little crooked when you stamped it. So looks pretty good to me. We're going to punch it out and we're done with that. Okay. And prior to you joining me, I had the framelit, which is the stitched oval framelit from the Stitched Shapes framelit set. And I cut this out. And this, because you don't need to see me cut that out. You guys know enough how to do that. So I'm going to add this to the Stitched Framelit set. And a Stitched Framelit powder pink paper. And we're going to add that by putting it on some snail. Putting on some snail. And we're going to glue it. Oh boy, that was not very good. Let me see if I can pull this off gently without wrecking the whole thing. Alrighty, there we go. Still not the greatest, but I'm under pressure here, so I'm sure you guys understand that. And then we're going to take this little piece and we're going to add dimensionals. If you're not sure what dimensionals are, they are little foam dots that are covered with glue on both sides. So one side is gluey and you stick that on, and the other side is got glue on it, but you have to peel off the liners. And once you get the liners peeled off, this can be stuck on the front of your card. And what this does is give some of the details on your card some dimension and some texture. Because flat is fine, but a little bit of different levels makes things look a little more interesting. So we're going to add this, and this is just going to stick right there. So there you go. There's the front of your card. That was pretty simple, I think. And I think you can do this. Okay, so let's proceed to do the inside. The inside's pretty simple. As I showed you before, this way, we're going to stamp some butterflies up here, and we're going to do the thank you very much sentiment, and we're going to add some more cardstock and DSP at the bottom, because without it, it looks really stark and kind of plain and uninteresting. So we're going to jazz it up a little bit, and you can still write whatever sentiment that you want to thank this person for, even besides this edition. So I think it'll add a little bit. If you want to do that, great. If you don't want to do that, that's okay too. But we're going to do some stamping. So what I'm going to do is get my butterfly stamp. Here it is. And we're going to ink this up with a piece of white cardstock that I have available. So let's ink this up. This is a kind of a unique stamp in that it has a big stamp butterfly and a little butterfly. You can stamp them together, and you can, the bundle that this comes with gives you a punch that you can punch both of these butterflies out together. So if you want 2 sizes of butterflies on your project, you can get it with this and without having too much to do about it. Okay, so we're going to stamp this up in the upper right corner. I think I got it upside down. We're going to go this way. And let's go a little bit sideways. Okay, so there you go. I like using Memento black ink. Stampin' Up! Sells it, and I like it best because it is very crisp, black, dark black ink. Plus, it also offers you the opportunity not to stain your stamps with the ink pigment. This is very forgiving, and when I clean these stamps, they're going to come very pristinely clean. Okay, so what we're going to do now is going to color the inside of that butterfly duo, and we're going to use powder pink Stampin' Up! Ink pad, and we're going to line these up so they fill the butterfly with color. And you know, even if it doesn't work for you and you get it outside the lines, it's okay. There you go. Okay, there's another one. Here's some place. Okay, butterfly. Where did you go? Did I not pull you out? I did. Well, there is a butterfly colored stamp. If I find it here, we'll do. Oh, there it is. Okay, fell off the table. So here we go. I'm going to color this. This is really pretty exact. It's amazing to me that Stampin' Up! Can do that so cleanly and crisply without having those lines merge. That's beautiful, beautiful work. Okay, so now we're going to put the sentiment in, and we're looking for "Thank you very much," and that's this one, and we're going to again ink it up with black. So let me bring my black ink back in. There's no really good way to do stamping. It's a straight up and straight down movement so that you don't want to rock it, but you're going to put this right kind of in the middle of the cardstock. Try to get it as straight as you can. It's always a challenge. So there, that worked out well. I've already got a smudge on here. You never know what you're going to be faced with, I'm telling you. And the last thing that we're going to do is put this little piece of designer series paper in a little strip of pink cardstock on top of it, just to add a little bit of interest and break up all that white. And if you are smart, you will use this opportunity to cover up that smudge. I would have normally put it up a little higher, but since I made the smudge, we're going to take care of that easily by just covering it up. So we're going to glue that on there. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing for the powder pink. what I'm going to do is put this kind of right in the middle between those two sets of checks so that it looks more symmetrical. It gives the eye something a little bit more pleasing to look at. And that's the inside of the card. We're done. So we're going to take the face part of the card, which is completed. We're going to add the inside of the card that we just got done by gluing that inside, and we are done. We are done. So I hope that you have enjoyed the craziness that you've probably witnessed this afternoon. And I hope that I will have the time to be able to do another one for you, and I will post it on my website, either Barb's Paper Pizzazz, and for anybody that wants to look at the videos, I have another website called The Elements of Barb's Paper Pizzazz, so that kind of gives you an idea of how to put it all together. So there's your card. It looks pretty. Anybody would love to receive it. It's just pretty. I love the color combination. The paper makes it happen, and we're done. Thanks for watching. I hope that if you want to order or would like to order any of the items that you saw, they are all listed on my blog at barbspaperpizzazz.com. So you can see the item numbers and go to my shop with me page on stampinup.com and order these items so that you can make some pretty cards from this tutorial and this video. So I hope to see you again. Thank you so much for joining me. Talk to you soon. Bye.